I've been in my role for the past 6 years and 8 years overall at Boston University. Within my role, again, I serve as a resource for our athletics department. I just want to go into just what I do, and so I'm here to provide a positive experience, and also to provide guidance to student athletes, our coaches, our athletic staff, our student athlete parents, and to our BU community. The purpose of this is to ultimately promote and protect our teams, the athletics department, and the university, because we have NCAA rules to follow and to keep track of. The compliance office is responsible for informing student athletes and coaches and staff in our BU community of the NCAA rules and regulations that impact them. So to go into the athletics department serves as a source of spirit and pride for the campus, with roughly 600 student athletes competing at the highest level of college athletics in 24 NCAA Division I varsity sports. We have been a member of the Patriot League Conference since 2013, with 20 of our 24 programs competing under the Patriot League banner, while the men's and women's ice hockey teams are in the Hockey East Association, and the men's rowing and women's lightweight rowing programs compete annually within the Intercollegiate Rowing Association. Next slide, if you don't mind. Academic support. So just like other member schools, we support our student athletes' academic success by providing tutoring and access to academic advisors. Furthermore, our student services, support services provides a comprehensive program that supports all student athletes in their overall personal development and in their pursuit of academic and athletic goals. We are committed to our student athletes' development in 5 major areas: academic excellence, athletic excellence, career development, personal development, and community service. The various components of our academic support program are designed to recognize and respond to the unique demands faced by student athletes in these areas. So we offer academic services such as tutoring and study hall, as well as developmental programming on topics of particular importance to the student athletes. Next slide. Next slide, sorry.
Sorry, Laura, I just also want to add in, just in terms of support for both our student athletes, but for all of our students, with the Educational Resource Center, and I know athletes have other additional tutoring available to them as well, but all of our students have free tutoring available to them in any subject area. The Writing Center at the Educational Resource Center is phenomenal. You walk in there with any paper for anything, and they'll give you support. And I personally am also just really proud that our average GPA for our current BU athletes is about a 3.2, which is phenomenal. They are really doing so well in both their sport and in the classroom. So we're very proud of them. But let's talk more about how we get started. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. So the best thing a prospective student athlete can do to get noticed by a coach is to really complete a sport-specific questionnaire. Our questionnaires are posted on our athletics website. I will give you the website after the end of this presentation. So if you see our questionnaire on our website, you submit it and the coach will receive the questionnaire. You can also follow up with an email about submitting the questionnaire, but because of NCAA rules, the coach may not be able to reply right away to your email, depending on what year you are in high school, which kind of brings me to our next slide. Ncaa Recruiting. So for Ncaa Recruiting, this is in my wheelhouse, since I deal with a lot of Ncaa rules with being in the compliance office. So for Ncaa Recruiting, there are rules that are established by each division governing recruiting materials, whether it's letters, other written correspondence, electronic communication, so either submitting an email or text message, telephone calls, off-campus contact, official visits and unofficial visits. And so Division I has its own set of restrictions for when a college coach can send materials, communicate, whether again it's via email, text, or phone calls, when we can provide visits and have contact with prospective student athletes. The NCAA rules governing the means and timing of recruitment vary by sport. So we have rules for basketball versus ice hockey versus lacrosse and softball and versus all other sports. All of these sports have different means and timing of recruitment. As I said, that they really vary by sport. In most, but not all sports, coaches really can't contact you until after your sophomore year of high school. And the other sports, the contact window doesn't really begin until the fall of junior year. So just really about every Division I sport operates on a different recruiting calendar. And so within that recruiting calendar, there are periods of time when a coach can contact you, so when they can make in-person off-campus visits to a recruit, evaluation periods when they can watch you play at a tournament, high school, club, AAU, all those non-scholastic tournaments. So that's when off-campus evaluations are allowed, but no direct contact can be made. And then there's a quiet period when only in-person on-campus contact can be made. And then a dead period when no recruiting contacts or evaluations are of any kind that can take place. And currently with COVID-19, we have been in a dead period since middle of March, April. So, and we will be in Division I schools will be in a dead period through January 1st because of the COVID-19 pandemic. Next slide.
So we're not ignoring you. We have to just wait for a little bit. So stick with us.
Coaches, sorry, just to go back on that, coaches still can communicate via phone and email. Again, if you are a contactable recruit, they can still do that during a dead period. They just can't watch you in person or have any visits on campus. And then processing through the recruiting process, the NCAA Eligibility Center registration. So if you do want to play a sport, NCAA sport, and particularly if you want to play at Boston University, you will need to register at the Eligibility Center. Eligibilitycenter.org is where you can sign up and register for the Eligibility Center. And so they really try to have you plan to register during your freshman year of high school. And once you're registered, you will receive a list of tasks that will need to be completed in order to receive the required certification through the Eligibility Center. So those tasks should be completed by the deadlines, the prescribed deadlines, to ensure that you are certified as eligible prior to enrolling at the university. And so to go off of that, to be eligible for practice, competition, financial aid, incoming freshmen must be certified by the NCAA Eligibility Center, like I said, and this requirement applies to all student athletes, including those on scholarship and walk-ons. The Eligibility Center certifies both the academic part and also the amateur status of prospects. And then other valuable information related to academic requirements can be found on the NCAA Eligibility Center website, where you can review the academic requirements for your initial eligibility. I also recommend the NCAA International Guide. This is where you can find credit values per course to ensure that you are on track towards the 16 credits needed to be eligible to compete, into practice, and to receive financial aid. And also within there, you'll find approved core courses for your province in Canada. And then overall, I just want to end my part. I know it's pretty quick, but I just want to kind of say, to learn more about our department and our programs, our facilities, you can go to our website, goterriers.com. That's where you'll find all of our programs, like I said, coaches, the coaching staffs, and then our facilities as well. So thank you.